Brought to you by Penguin.
The Boy in the Headlights by Samuel Bjork, read by Laura Paton. On Christmas Day 1996, a man was driving across the mountains on his way home from Oslo. He was 71 years old, a widower, and he had spent the Christmas with his daughter. He usually loved this road for two reasons. Firstly, he didn't care much for the city, though it always did him good to be with younger people and their constant activity. The second reason was being surrounded by this magnificent landscape. Forests, wide expanses, mountain tops, lakes. Every season was equally breathtaking. Norway at her best. True beauty as far as the eye could see. Winter had come early this year, and once the magical snow had settled, it was like driving through a quiet and enchanting postcard. Usually. The old man's eyesight was poor, and he had tried desperately to leave early in order to enjoy the drive home, in the daylight. Only this time he hadn't left early enough. The darkness. He didn't like it. Sitting at home in front of the fireplace was fine. Then he didn't mind at all that the world was spinning on its axis and that now it was his turn to be surrounded by night. Not at all. At times it could even be cosy. He would pour himself a tipple, snuggle up on the sofa under a blanket while the nocturnal wildlife woke up outside and the cold took a hold so strong that the thick timber walls creaked. But being out on the roads? This far from home? No. He didn't like that. The old man slowed down and moved his face even closer to the windscreen. He had bought extra bright driving lights for the car for emergencies like this one, and he switched them on as the clouds in the sky blocked out the last of the faint moonlight. An icy, silencing darkness descended upon the landscape. The old man took a deep breath and briefly considered pulling over and sitting it out. Madness, of course. It was almost -20 Celsius outside, and he was miles from any populated areas. There was only one thing for it, and that was to keep going. Do the best he could. The old man was about to turn on the radio to find a station that would keep him awake, when his headlights caught something which made him slam both feet against the floor. Good heavens! There was a creature on the road ahead. What the— 50 meters, 20 meters, 10 meters. He pressed the brake pedal frantically, feeling his heart leap into his throat, his knuckles whitening on the steering wheel, the world almost imploding in front of his eyes, before the car finally stopped. The man gasped for breath. What the hell? A small boy was standing on the road in front of him. He didn't move. His lips were blue, and he had antlers on his head. 1. April 2013. Chapter 1. The boy with the curly hair sat on the back thwart in the small dinghy, trying to be very quiet. He glanced furtively at his father, who had the oars, and felt flushed with happiness. He was seeing his dad again. Finally. It had been a while since the last time, since his mum had found out what had happened during that trip. In his dad's house deep in the forest. In the mountains, practically. The house his mum called a shack. The boy had tried to explain to her that it was okay that his dad didn't make the kind of dinners she cooked for him, and that he smoked inside and kept a gun in the living room, because it was for shooting grouse, not people. But his mum had refused to listen to him. No more visits. She had even called the police, or maybe not the police, but someone who had come to their home and spoken to him at the kitchen table, and written things down in a notebook. And after that, he hadn't been allowed to see his dad. Until now. The boy—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?